WFM 91.7.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on the big question for today. The time is 5 minutes gone past 12 from WFM 91.7. This is Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Blessing Agbeito. This is the big question on Women Radio WFM 91.7. The big question is the program where we discuss and prefer solutions to issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens. The big question is broadcast on weekdays at 12:05 p.m. You can join the conversation via our phone line by calling 07000 917 917 or send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. You can also send in your contributions to our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at WFM 917. Or log on to our website www.wfm917.com. Today on The Big Question, we will be discussing police brutality and Omobolanle Raheem's case. Omobolanle's husband, Raheem, narrated the story of how his wife was shot dead by the police officer on Christmas Day. Benga narrated that himself, his wife, and relatives were just returning from the church and decided to do some shopping, after which they were to go home. The policemen stopped them along the Ajah Bridge to park their car, and while they were doing that, it was at this point Omobolanle was shot in the chest. We have had to address police brutality in the past, and this is one of such cases. It is now a social problem and an issue of concern that calls for all of our voices to be heard. And this is why it is crucial we have this conversation. Joining me on the show today is Dr. Joseph Gimba, the CEO, Center for Peace, Education and Community Development. And on the show today, we will be discussing police brutality and Omobolanle Raheem's case. Good to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gimba, for being a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Now, I would like us to delve into the conversation without further ado. Now, to put a stop to cases as this one, on Christmas Day, we were talking about the case of Bolanle Raheem. Just before then, there was a guy that was shot in the same Ajah by a police officer from the same police station in Ajah. And prior to this one, we've heard of so many cases before now. Just yesterday, we had another one of a man who was, trying to intimidate a civilian with his gun. We have all of these cases, and some of them have been swept under the carpet. What kind of reform is needed for both officers and the institution itself?
Well, I think before I get into details, let me use this opportunity and sympathize with the family of Bolanle and other families too that were victims of police brutality over the years. And to talk directly on the type or kind of reforms that is so required for the police, I think after the NSAS protest, states were asked to set up a panel where people can come lodge their complaint against brutality that they suffer either from the police, the military, or other paramilitary security outfits. Now, I'm sure at this state level, lots of documents or resolutions or considerations or advice has been given. But unfortunately, just like it is the case of Nigeria every now and then, we have so much policies that are never implemented. We were thinking by now we would have had a comprehensive report of those states that have come up or they are through with their panel and they were able to come up with some advice. But as it is now, there has never been any other issue. In fact, certain states did not even set up the police committee. They didn't set up the committee for the simple fact that probably they felt that their citizens at that level did not suffer any police brutality, which of course I would say it is unfortunate. We are too much of policy. We lack the political will to see to it that changes take place. We lack the sincerity of purpose to see to it that changes does take place within the police. And it's unfortunate that some of these police that are involved in such brutality never see the light of the day in terms of judgment. And to have any reform, this reform must be comprehensive. First and foremost, I and some other persons, I would believe that because of the nature of the police work, there should be constant or regular checkup in terms of drugs, psychological checkup, things like that, so that they can be kept in check. And their mode of operation too should be reviewed periodically. And those that are found to be wanting in their own work, they should be dealt with within the limit of the law. And that again will kind of give the general public the confidence that yes, the police is really working. Reforms can come in so many other ways. The condition of service of the police too needed to change. Their numbers as per the kind of people they need to engage is so few. There are so few of them. You again understand that if you're a senator in Abuja, you have a police with you in Abuja. If you have a house in your village, you have a police in your village. If you're a governor, you have teams of police with you. If you have a house in other places, you have police guiding you. When you go to places like Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, you have police for hire where they are guiding VIP. So you see, the numbers are not even enough for people like you and I. And you look at the distance of police from one police station to the other. It's not enough. They are ill-equipped. You find police working with baton. You'll find police working empty-handed in areas where it shouldn't have been like that. And again, the police should equally need to be trained and retrained. They needed that training so that to keep them abreast of what it should take place. And if you look at them again, most of them do not have this good mannerism, interpersonal relationship with people. Some of them do not really have it. They use their uniform to intimidate, rather using the uniform to educate the public instead of they are supposed to use the uniform to show the people the right way to do or right way to go. But the uniform is used to intimidate people, which is of course not really good enough for Nigeria. The reforms are going to be enormous. It is going to be capital intensive, but for the sake of civility, for the sake of life and property, I don't think there is any money that is going to be too much to reform the police, because they are the nearest people to the public, to the citizens, in terms of crisis and distress. So they must be well trained. Their professionalism must be on top of it, or else we are still going to have this kind of attitude that police are maltreating citizens, ordinarily the very people that they are supposed to defend.
All right, thank you very much for that one. I do appreciate you. Moving further in the conversation, considering the numerous cases of police brutality that we've heard in the past and coupled with this current Omobolanle Raheem's case, are we safe to say police is our friend?
Far from it. Far from it. We can never say the police is our friend. It depends on who you really know. And it depends on which circumstances you are going to say police is your friend. We have known instances where a robbery will be taking place, you are in distress, you call the police, they will tell you that they don't have a friend to drive the car.
Or they don't have the car.
And again, they use their gun, they use their uniform, just like I said, to intimidate the public. But ordinarily, the philosophy and the principle behind policing, or police generally, it is expected that there should be a very good relationship between the citizens and, of course, the police. But with what is happening at the moment, even if the police is your neighbor, you have people not really trusting them because of certain experiences that individuals have underwent through the way and manner the police have treated them or probably handled their cases. So the friendship between the police and us, in fact, it has diminished, it has reduced after the NSAS protest. So if you say the police are a friend, that should be, it's not going to be absolute, it's just going to be relative. That's the way I look at it. And why we are not even going to say they are friends is because sometimes you are even afraid to report, to give them sensitive information. At the end of the day, they will say, this is the person that gave us the information. You begin to wonder, where is this principle of confidential informant, where I am free to go and report a sensitive issue to the police and the police to take care of it, to either prevent it or to make arrests without necessarily divulging that I am the one that take the information to them. So one wonders where is the principle of that confidential informant really going? And that's why sometimes you find when the police are in need of certain information, they don't get it. Where you expect the police and the citizens to kind of collaborate in certain things, you find out that the public just stand aloof, not really wanting to really help because they felt that there are times that the police cannot be trusted and anything can go wrong.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Gimba, for that one. I do appreciate it. So having highlighted all of this ones, what immediate action would you suggest that the government should take?
I think the government must be proactive. And let me be very sincere. The Police Service Commission must be proactive in handling issues like this, where their staff misbehave. They should be able to handle it with the immediate dispatch. The instance where you discover that you are taking a complaint to the police station or to a senior police officer, one of the junior police has really maybe misbehaved or conduct himself out of order, you discover sometimes you never get a response from them, and sometimes again they just relocate some of these police somewhere because there is one issue or the other, and you come here complaining that you don't even know who you are looking for. I have an experience when I served under the police brutality panel. The chairman of our panel have asked a particular policeman to be brought to the panel to answer some questions. And I tell you, we were told that they don't even know the policeman. And we know where the policeman is, but because it is not our duty at the panel to go and look for the policeman, but we were told at the panel, somebody says he knows where the policeman is, he's there. But when we officially requested for that, we were told that they don't know where that policeman is. And things like that, it discourages people to work with the police, to have confidence with the police. So the immediate thing that we needed to do is, where there are issues, where there are problems, there should be a genuine reconciliation between those that are grieved because of the police in terms of how and manner they discharge their duties, though we are sure there are always mistakes, and there are instances that certain things happen where they are not seriously intended to happen. But as a police, with special training, unlike other citizens out there, they should be very, very careful in the way and manner they discharge their duties. And wherever they are found wanting, the law should take its course, because I'm sure they all have their code of conduct and they all have their own way and manner that their staff are being sanctioned. So the immediate thing is, we should be able to be looking that the police are at fault and the police are dealt within the limit of the state law or even their own law.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Gimba, for that one. I do appreciate you. A quick check brings us to 20 minutes past 12 from this side of the radio. You're listening to The Big Question. The Big Question is a program where we discuss and provide solutions to issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens. Today on The Big Question, we are discussing police brutality and Omobolanle Raheem's case. And my guest for today is Dr. Joseph Gimba, the CEO, Center for Peace, Education and Community Development. To be a part of the conversation, you can log on to our website, www.wfm917.com. You can call 07000 917 917 or send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537 to be a part of the conversation. Dr. Gimba, as citizens, what would you say is our role in all of this? Because, I mean, we are the ones bearing the brunt come day, come night. So what do you think? What role do we have to play in all of this?
I think one of the roles that we needed to play is to insist for accountability. Accountability, the way and manner the police discharge their duties. And we are, again, supposed to be law-abiding to ourselves. While it is accident or no accident, we all should be accountable. You can see one of the other issues that we were expecting, probably citizens can maybe lay in their voice that they did not, is the issue of even the police recruitment. We are kind of wondering whether it is the Police Service Commissioner supposed to recruit police, or it is the IGP of police that's supposed to recruit police. And it is expected that the Police Service Commission should be be allowed to recruit the needed police. And we should add our voice to it, because when they say Service Commission, if you look at Service Commission, mostly they are the ones that are in charge in the recruitment, they're in charge of punishment, they're in charge of promoting. And apart from that, again, what we can do, there should be a channel. The police-public relations should be enhanced, where we can freely report cases of misconduct of the police. And if such avenues are not there, it creates disenchantment between the police and then the people. The work of the police will not go well, for the simple fact that the police is not a wizard. He needed the people to give him information so that he can discharge his duty very well in defending the public. So people must ask for accountability. We should be asking for accountability from time to time, as it affects how they do their work. And of course, how we again supposed to behave and how to relate with the police.
All right. Thank you very much for that one. I do appreciate you. Thank you very much for that one. Now, what do you think should be done to improve the police system in our communities? If you're saying that we have to say something when we see something, we don't have to keep quiet, we all have a role to play in all of this. So what can we do as a society to improve the police system in our community?
I think basically we all need each other. Just like I just said, that the police is not a wizard, it's not a magician. The police will certainly need information from us and from the public. And that's the only way the police can really do his work, when we give him the right information. So our relationship between the police and the public should be cordial. At all times should be cordial. It shouldn't be a case of cat and dog. It shouldn't be like that. It is expected that there should be some kind of understanding, confidence building between the public and then the police. I think the difference between the public and the police is that the police is putting on a uniform, he has sworn to do his work, and he is trained. And our own difference is because we are not putting on the uniform, we are not being trained, especially the way it's being trained. That does not mean that we cannot coexist in trying to curb criminality and then other things that make the society look bad. Our relationship with them must be cordial. There should be trust. There should be understanding, and we should be promoting each other most often than not. But when one looks at himself to be above the other partner, that is where the problem comes. The police should look at themselves as a servant to the public. And he should not use his uniform, he should not use his position to intimidate. And for whatever part his services is, he should be able to do things in a more professional manner, better than us, better than the public that have not undergone any special training in policing. His work is going to be okay when there is that confidence building between the public and himself. But as long as there is no confidence between, we can trust them, they can trust us. And if we look at the work as if it is the work of the police, it is not our work. And if the policeman look at his work as it is his work and not the work of the public, then that is why the problems are. Sometimes when we are talking to the policeman, he will begin to tell you, "Come, are you trying to teach me my job?" Now you see the issue of purity complex or inferiority complex has separate. But the moment you say, "Are you trying to teach me my job?" So if I'm the one giving the information, how can I give information? I'll just keep quiet and allow you to do your job.
Exactly.
So confidence building must exist. They exist because of us. They are protecting our lives. And because they are protecting our life, that is their job to protect our life. They shouldn't look as if they are doing us a favor. They have sworn to do that job. So they should do it professionally. They should do it with all dedication. And the public should be able to support them in all ways. Without that confidence, and I don't think we are going to go the right way. And we should be, again, to be seeing the police apologizing in a more professional manner, rather apologizing in a more political manner. We should see the police owing up to their own responsibility by accepting that certain things are wrong and they must be corrected. Defending their colleagues unnecessarily does not really help the matter. It ends up just aggravating the whole situation. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gimba. This is so enlightening and it's so nice to have you on the show. We're getting towards the end of the show, but just before I let you go, I would like to ask you this one as well. As much as we keep talking about police brutality, day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, it seems as if it is not ending. I mean, today we're talking about one police officer in Lagos. The other one we're talking about one police officer in Imo State. The other one we're talking about one police officer in Port Harcourt. Now, for police officers who have been involved in police brutality of citizens, what can we do in order to correct this menace? How can we bring it to an end?
I think it will come two ways. One way, that the Police Service Commission should be up and doing.
Okay.
The police must be able to purge the bad eggs among them. Let me tell you sincerely, there are good policemen and women out there. Only few of them that are bad, and the ones that are complacent in the errors of their colleagues committed, they keep quietly look the other way. And that is why you see whatever happens is being generalized as the police is bad, the police is bad. They should be able to purge the bad one among them. And then for us, as the public, we should be able to comprehensively understand our situation, because when they say policing, when we say security, you are the first. You should be able to secure yourself first before you talk of any other person securing you. You want to go out, close your door properly. Don't say you are going to leave your door open simply because the police is there. No, we should be able to start policing ourselves, and we should be able to insist that all of them are accountable, and whatever action that is being committed wrongly, it should be corrected. And where we see gallant policemen and women, the public should be able to appreciate them. Publicly, they should be appreciated for being gallant in what they are doing. And those that are bad eggs among them, they should be dealt with within the limit of the law, because some of these problems they have, let me tell you, some of them only go to work when they are drunk.
Yes.
And when they are drunk, some of them go to work only when they are high. Now, the moment they are drunk or they are high for whatever it is that they are taking, that does not give them the right judgment, does not give them the state of mind to work the way they are supposed to work. Most of these mistakes, when they are out of that state, they now realize, oh, how can I do this? You were talking about the policeman using his gun. I mean, I equally have a similar experience at an ATM machine where a policeman threatened me with a gun, simply because he came, he wanted to withdraw money, and in front of us, there are about 4 women in front of us, and he felt he can bypass these 4 women to go and slot his card into the ATM machine to get money. So when he went, I stopped him from that. He threatened to kill me if I don't take time. I said, "You go ahead and kill me. If that would please him." And in such situation, a lot of people came, gathered, and we were happy the security in the bank took him in. And I don't know how they concluded, but of course, they were not equally happy that a lot of people were there to find out what is really happening. So we have a lot of them using their uniform wrongly, using their guns wrongly. Some of them, the way they even handle the gun, it's like you kind of wonder, have these people been trained on how to handle weapon? So many of those things are really out there. And like I said again, the training, it should be something that should be done regularly. It shouldn't be just one time you go to the police college and the moment you are out and they feel that you are done for. No. The police needs regular training. And again, there are new skills that are coming up, strategy should be involved, and their work should be made in such a way that they can work with the public confidently. The community policing as a policy, if it is something to go by, we are aware before now, in the 70s, I know, you discover that people that are not even police, they are working for the police. The relationship is so fine. They work with the police. When you're through with your work, you go to the police station and volunteer doing one thing or the other. So that culture should be brought back so that there should be a confidence building amongst us, because the safety is not just for the public, the safety is for everybody. If the situation is safe, we have you have an economic improvement. And when the situation is not safe, hunger and unemployment, poverty is really on the high. So we will need to work together. We just have to work together in order to make it right. It's not a one-man thing. And government should be sincere in paying these police. They should be sincere. Their work is stressful. We know they have undergone training. But of course, they should be taken care of. Their emolument should be given to them as of when due. A situation whereby it is the police buying the boot. Is the police buying the uniform? Is the police buying the cap? No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't go down well. And we see so much budget that has not been cashed back in order to help the police does his work. Go to police stations. How many police did you see there? What are the equipment you see in the police station? So honestly speaking, it's a national disgrace that our police people cannot match the number of population in Nigeria. It is a national disgrace that our police are not well equipped. So we should all really rise up to the situation if we really want to be secure in this country.
All right. So thank you very much, Dr. Gimba, for being a part of the conversation today. This is so insightful. Thank you so much for being our guest on The Big Question for today.
Thank you so much. Most grateful.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it. Dr. Joseph Gimba, the CEO, Center for Peace, Education and Community Development. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. But we won't stop talking about it, because to put an end to police brutality in our community, we have to be very deliberate. We have lost so many lives due to police brutality, and it should be stopped. The government and institutions need to take a look into the case of brutality, and we all are involved in this to see that justice is served and all forms of brutality is stopped to make Nigeria safe for citizens. Our heart goes out to the family of Raheems at this difficult time, and to all who have lost their loved ones due to a case of police brutality, intimidation and harassment. Wishing you peace, comfort, courage, and lots of love. Many thanks to my producer Elizabeth Akwerebe and executive producer Tom Okewale Shunaya. The Big Question is a program where we discuss and prefer solutions to issues affecting us as citizens and as a nation. Remember that conversations like this don't end here. We must continue to raise awareness on issues concerning us as individuals and, of course, and as nation. Continue to speak about the problem and, most importantly, prefer solutions to it. Remember to continue to be a patriotic citizen anywhere and everywhere you find yourself. My name is Blessing Agbe. Good afternoon.
WFM 91.7.